Welcome to the Creation and Valuation Station, where I give in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also give in-depth review and discussion of other creative works, such as movies, comic books, cartoons, video games, etc. Today, on this episode, we are going to be looking at the Juniors line of the T.rex Breakout. Now, this is back when they had a Juniors line. It's now simply called 4+. It's set number 10758. It has 150 pieces and original retailed for $49.99. And here's the front again. As you see, I got it on sale for a lot less. It was on clearance because you can see here it was pretty badly beaten up. This was only a $7.50 markdown. Now, I got this at Walmart. I think they had already reduced the price, so it wasn't even $50 when I bought it. But yeah, I got it for a pretty good price, $22. Oh, and here's the back of the box as well. Plenty of images back there. Came out in 2018, so you know it's a little bit on the older side and pretty much unavailable. You can possibly find it online. Probably the price will be different. Probably nowhere near as cheap as I got it. Box is damaged, but I doubt the pieces are damaged. Nothing's open that could have leaked out. So yeah, it's 4+ set. It's 4 to 7 was the Juniors line. Basically the same. 150 pieces. Big box, but not a big set. But we got this big boy in here, so that's taking up a lot of space. So let's go put it together and check it out. Here is the contents of the box. We have a nice thick instruction booklet. Just it's not wrapped in plastic, so we can peek inside. And this is older set. They don't have those big hands, although it's probably still on the thicker side for instruction booklet because of the Juniors, and they did try to simplify those instructions even then, although not to the ridiculous portions that the current ones are. Right. We have that bag 1. We have bag 2. We have bag 3. But wait, there is more. We have large chunky pieces sitting outside, including this monstrosity. And then we have ourselves a bagged T-Rex sitting there suffocating in his plastic. And before we look at the bags, let's look at the large chunks that are outside the bags. Definitely some interesting pieces. Now, that's an interesting plate. I'm not sure. Then we have our car piece here. And the big, giant, not so ugly rock piece, but it's definitely printed. Now, it has this button here, and if you wanted something that's a little more natural, though, it would be easy to cover that up with some bricks. There's plates right there that you could do that with. And, you know, make yourself a entrance to a dungeon or something if you wanted to. And, of course, we have our big T-Rex here. Several pieces. We'll take a closer look at him put together. But that's it for the exterior bags. We have our bag 1 here. Got our tires, and the wheels go with them. Windshield. Most of the car parts are in here. We have these really nice printed panel pieces for the sides. Be used for lots of different things. Well, they're mostly car parts here. It's a nice little piece here with clips on the side. Press it. It probably goes with that. We have printed here front part with the headlights and stuff. And we have one of our characters here for this set with an egg. Not too much in this first bag, but it looks like it's mostly for the car. There we have bag 2. Got some nice big doors, some green pieces to go with their foliage and stuff. Nice chunky slope bricks. Sorry about what happened with my second bag clip. I thought I'd make it up by just showing the instruction booklet here. The set's already put together when I found out that something happened to it. But here is the rest of the pieces. All the pieces. Here is the third and final bag. We got some plates, some leaves. We have big leaves or small leaves too. We'll get to look at that in a moment here. We got some railings, some more chunky slope pieces, some large building pieces. Now this is the first time I've seen these, and if you haven't, there are some interesting things to note about it. For one, there are Technic rod holes both on the bottom and the top. Probably if you wanted to build a bigger building, that would help reinforce them. We have some smaller little railing pieces. We have another figure over here, and a little dinosaur as well. I don't know if that's supposed to be the baby T-Rex or a raptor. I mean, it's usually used for the raptor. They meant it to be the T-Rex, since this is a T.rex Breakout. Some walkie-talkies. Some more of these couch pieces, as I call them. And trans blue. More flames. And we have some really nice prints over here. We got a control. And we have a, like a holographic windscreen type thing. And an electrical sign, which is nice too. I wish they had actually do more of these printed. I don't like putting the stickers on them. They make me nervous. But that's the last of the bags, so we will finish this set off. We have our cast of characters for this set now. None of them have any specific names. The box doesn't give their names, and I don't really recognize them as any particular characters. But we definitely have like 2 different scientists and a guard. And then we also have our little baby T-Rex. Yes, he's supposed to be a baby T-Rex. I think that's a little too small for the baby T-Rex. I mean, maybe when they're first hatched, they're about that size. But I think that's the same, or that is the baby raptor mold. So, it kind of takes place after this set is a Jurassic World set. But the synopsis that they're giving with this set is it sounds more like the Jurassic World 2, where they had the baby T-Rex in that. But let's take off their gear and check them out. Here we do have them take away their accessories and their wigs, their hair pieces, their wigs. Not bad looking prints on any of them particularly. I mean, this could be maybe a little bit more opaque, but it's not bad. But you can definitely see that the green color of the piece is bleeding through just a little bit. This guy's really dark, but the vest shows up pretty good. Now, his face there is all scared, and it's a shame that is the only face he has, because he does not have a double face like the other ones, and he thusly doesn't have like a more neutral face rather than a emotional face like the one he has. But yeah, he's supposed to be a guard, so I guess he's being scared of the T-Rex. But he could use a different face. But and here we see that these guys both have, well, it's not really a scared face, more of a concerned face, I guess. And she's a little bit more scared. But some nice printing on the back here too. You got the symbol on this guy, and the doctor's well, scientist's walkie, or not walkie, his phone. Apparently he's listening to music. But not bad figures all around, just nothing named or anything. So we have one more figure to go. But last, but definitely, absolutely not least, is we have the big bad T-Rex. Yes, indeedy. Now, it's a great looking figure. Very simple, well, classic color scheme for him, with the different shades of brown and tan and such. It's got 4 studs on his back for riding purposes, if you want to put a figure back there or build something on top of him. He's got some nice jaw action here. Now it's only got one permanent click in there, so you can get it to go halfway, which isn't a problem, but if you bump it just a little bit, chomp, he chomps down. Kind of like that sound though. Click. Chomp. Now the neck, you notice, it's got some big chunks out of it, but this allows for a lot of posability. Put his neck all the way down, and he's got big chunks sticking here on the back. But this allows for a lot of movement, and thus gives it a lot more playability. It may look a little bit off, but it makes it much more fun to play with. He also rotates all the way around. If you want him to look possessed. He's got posable arms. He's got posable legs. And because of his head's posability, you know, if you want to make him a little bit more upright like this, more traditional dragging of the tail, or you just want him to, you know, get up to a higher level, because I'm sure a T-Rex could move like this, but it's not its normal stance, which is more like this. And and one more hinge here on the tail, click hinge. I don't know why it has to be a click hinge. You're really not going to move this tail around much because it throws off the paint scheme. And the tip of the tail is made of rubber from here on where my thumb is to the end. Just so I guess you don't stab somebody with it. I don't know if that saves them any money on the plastic. From what I've seen from rubber tires, it's more expensive. But yeah, and he's great to play with. Got nothing going inside his jaw, like no attachments inside, which is a shame. You know, you want a fire-breathing T-Rex, you have a little stud, something in there. You can have a fire-breathing T-Rex, because who doesn't want one? Yeah, there he is. Lots of fun just to play with them like this. Here we have our set all together, looking pretty snazzy here. We're gonna break it down, looking at the individual sections. We already looked at the T-Rex close up, so we're done with him. But we will be looking at the vehicle, the big area, and the little small area over here. So let's hop to it. Let's start with this vehicle. It's a cute little delivery truck or whatnot. It's got this nice decal on the side, on both sides, by the way, so you get 2 of these. And it can come in handy with some other things you want to build. This is also print here. Yeah, these decals are prints, excuse me. These are prints. It's cute little cards, you know, pretty standard 4+ set where it's the main body's pretty much one piece. You put the tires on and then build up the rest of it. Inside, you got room for one driver. Just sits down there. She's got her steering wheel in there. It's just hollow in the back here. I mean, there isn't even a wall here. So one could assume that the character could spin around and access the back. Back here has one door that's got click hinges on it for some reason. And I'm not sure why they need such stiff hinges for this, but they do. We've got some tail lights. And inside, which does not come out easy, we have this. It's a egg carrier incubator, I guess. It's still kind of a rough way to carry an egg. One could assume that she just came out of the T-Rex's area and picked up this egg. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the set. There's a lot of room inside here. Actually, I should have showed that. That comes out, and there's pretty good room in there. You know, if you wanted to stick another figure in there, you probably could. Have them lying down. Could make this, turn this into some kind of ambulance. Next up, we have our little incubator hatching area. I guess it's not really. It doesn't. It looks like it should be an internal area, but it's actually only has this one single wall with a little bit of an overhang. I guess you're supposed to use your imagination more. But yeah, it's got this computer to analyze your eggs, and it's got room for the second egg, so you could take the egg from the vehicle and put it in here. And it's monitoring probably the temperature and checking out everything inside, make sure it's okay. We got a spot here for store some walkie-talkies. And the screen here is displaying some information where the eggs were found. And that is a print, and it looks really nice with the light behind it. As you can see there, it helps illuminate it really well. And you have room for your little baby T-Rex to run around a little bit, I guess, but be penned up here. It's not a lot to this. On the opposite side, it doesn't look good at all. Just saying, it's not really meant to be that way. Ooh, we got a switched piece there. But definitely, like, I'd want to see this kind of enclosed more, like give it more of a rod, you know, maybe, you know, some kind of, so it's a little bit more enclosed. Doesn't have to be completely enclosed, but it's something a little bit better than that. This leaf doesn't really help much either. We've got the large build here, and kind of the main attraction, sort of, since it's supposed to be the pen for the T-Rex. At least that's what I'm getting the idea of here anyways. You know, you got the big doors there. They're shut tight. These wooden doors are just for look, because it's actually mechanical here. You got a little red you know, button to push to open up the door. So an interesting build technique here. I mean, this is definitely a very simple build. All this uses a lot of large pieces, but down here on this bottom here, for this plate, this ramp piece goes up here. These look like they're just, you know, additional tracks like this. If you've seen the Jurassic Park world, Jurassic Park movie, you know that the vehicles they run are actually on tracks. So you look like you're riding in a vehicle, but the vehicle drives itself kind of like a train or a monorail or something like that. And that's what these tracks are for. But it looks like it's just a continuation of the tracks that are on the ramp here. But these are also used to help hold down this piece. You would just have it sitting in this inset with the anti-studs sticking into the studs on the plate below it, and this actually strengthens the piece, the hold on the piece. So it's kind of a small clever thing they did to help brace the thing together. Not that there's a lot of clever building here, because it's really a simple build. I mean, you got the big, huge, large piece here. But you do have this beautiful sign, and the printing here, this is all printing. That's a lot of printing. Definitely kind of turns, people off a little bit with all that printing, since it makes the piece a little bit less useful. Like, you wouldn't want that for a castle, but you could make that into a cave or something if you covered this up. I think I talked about this before in the pieces section. But you got your big flames making it look scary. This is very reminiscent of Jurassic Park. Makes it very nice. Now, I'm not sure what all's going on here. We have this crane here with a hot dog on it. Apparently, we feed this T-Rex hot dogs. I don't know if they're good for them. I don't know if they're even good for us. And also we have this here. Now, I think this is basically supposed to be designed so it extends the height up for the pen for the T-Rex, but it also looks like it's supposed to be a walkway back there, which makes absolutely no sense, since you're sitting there perfect height for the T-Rex to chomp you. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. And then we have, our power sign here about the electric, because this is all supposed to be high-powered, keep the T-Rex from playing around too much. We have a ladder here that doesn't go all the way to the ground, so it's a bit of a drop for a minifigure, but I guess he's supposed to be up there keeping an eye on the T-Rex. That still isn't high enough, just saying. I mean, you could see, there's his jaws, there's the minifigure. I'd be scared too. So, this is the pretty side. Let's turn it around and see the ugly side. There's not much back here. And yes, ta-da! Bleh. Not much back here. I mean, you can drive the vehicle through here. There's a bit of a drawback here, but could have used a little bit bigger ramp maybe. But a vehicle could still go down there, especially the one that comes with this set. But yeah, it's not much back here. Get to see some plants, see the backside. T-Rex gets a very boring view all day. I'd be unhappy if I were him. What do they have in there, Kong? Nope, just me. Alright, we're back here at the desk. Gonna give this a final review. Start off with, this isn't a bad set. There's little things that I don't like about it much, but overall, I like what they're going with here. But we'll get into the little details as we move along here. So, as far as appearance, it looks pretty good. I like the kind of reference here to Jurassic Park, the original, with the main gate opening. That's nice. The T-Rex looks nice. The figures look nice. This little vehicle, despite its simplicity, looks fairly nice. The big yellow handle on the back's kind of awkward, but it's also kind of necessary. Help, younger kids open and close that door. Like I said, I don't know why they use click hinges. They make it harder to open that door. But that's what they chose to do. And this looks a little goofy for a scientific facility with very little cover. But for the most part, this looks pretty good. I like the printing. There's a lot of nice prints all over this set. overall, the appearance, I'm giving it an what did I give it? An 8. There's some minor things that could be done better, but there's a lot of good stuff here as well. Now, functions, everything works pretty much like it's supposed to. Car rolls well, doors open. These doors open when you pop off the little brain. You got this nice little feeding crane thing. For the most part, everything works how it's supposed to work. There's not a lot of functionality to this, but it works okay. And because of that, I gave it a 9. T-Rex works fine. It's the same model have used. For fun, okay. So there's plenty of fun here. You have a big dinosaur. It's a T-Rex. You're gonna have fun just playing with that. Though you want to have this to play with it with, and you do. This works with the T-Rex. He's got a fence to hide behind. There's a vehicle trying to come in, get his, I guess, her eggs, or basically what they're showing here. Which actually, I think they established that the T-Rex is female, anyways, in all these movies. So yeah, you have some scenarios here with the baby T-Rex and this incubation station. I like that, incubation station. As long as it's not a creation station, that's mine. But this van that carries an egg, or van, truck, whatever you want to call this thing, carries an egg in it and stuff, and the whole scenario they have set up here is good. So you can play along with the T-Rex. The T-Rex can be played by itself, but it works with this as well, including the little feeding of the hot dog. So as far as fun goes, this gets a 10. Now, technique, things start looking a little awkward here with the techniques. I mean, this building could use more building. Just a roof and maybe some supports. There's not a lot of very complicated building. It's very simple. The only thing that I had to praise was the way this ramp is attached here in the front, but that's not much. And on in addition, there's actually some poor building stuff here, like this fence. Now maybe this fence is meant to be broken down, but they don't show it. This fence is 2 pieces, and they're just basically hooked onto the bottom here, and they're not connected together. Standard, you would put probably a bar going across here, and it would support these and hold these together and give it strength. Individually, they don't have strength, and they can easily be broken. Which I just popped that off and put it right back on, because that's how flimsy that construction is. So, despite its one good thing, it's got worse things, and I don't like to see any set have some poor building techniques, even if it's a 4+ set, because that is one where you should be not teaching directly, but inadvertently teaching them good techniques. So when they're moving on to the higher level sets and whatnot, they're maybe not exactly conscious of it, but almost subconsciously aware that this is not, put together well. So I ended up giving it a 7. It's not terrible, but it gets docked points for things like this. I mean, if it didn't have that, I'd probably give it an 8. Yeah, an 8. or even a 9 for some decent attempt there with the front. But you know, sometimes there's just nothing really to complain about, but there's nothing really good either. And therefore it gets a nice 8, 9, something like that. But this gets points off, or this should have been done differently. And I also don't know what's going on here with these rails. I mean, you could even switch them around so they're back here and have a walkway up here, but that still doesn't make sense. As you can see, the T-Rex is right here. His teeth are here. Yum, 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 yum. Eat the human. But yeah, so fun's 10. Technique was 7. Sorry, I backtracked a little bit. Technique was 7. And you do the math, and you get the overall score of an 8.5, which is a okay set. A little bit above that. There's a lot of play value here, so you know, kids are going to more worry about that than the construction here. So they're going to enjoy this set, and it's going to be fun. I just have complaints. Like, this score is my personal thoughts. I have complaints with things like that. So yeah, 8.5. Now, price. Originally, it was $49.99. At least that's what it said on Brickset. I think my local Walmart had it like $39.99, which I think is a much more appropriate price. But $49.99 divided by 150, and the average you get is 33 cents per piece. That's over three times the standard of 10 cents. That is a terrible price. Now, part of it's the T-Rex, and he does come in like several pieces, which are included in that piece count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces right here. But there's a lot of plastic here. This is like buying a plastic dinosaur toy, not a Lego set. Because there's a large chunk of plastic and rubber here, and that kind of changes things. I mean, if you start pricing this, thinking about it, I mean, you also have a large piece here. The large pieces, that's 4+ or juniors line, as it used to be called. So the price count doesn't exactly count towards, or piece count doesn't quite count towards the price. You start thinking of it in larger chunks. Like, this is a toy dinosaur that could cost anywhere between $15 and $20 based on the quality, and it's a Lego, so it's fairly quality. So let's say $20. This chunk here, this main building piece, not a lot of pieces here, but it's a large thing. This could easily be $15 to $20. This little build here, maybe more around $5. And this between 5 and 10. We'll go with 10 to be upwards. So you got 15, 5, that's 20. This is 20. That's up to 40, and we have 40. Did I say 45, 50? Yeah, I said 50. That's what they were going for. That's still maybe a little bit overpriced, a little bit, and so I gave it a pass, even though it's, as far as piece count is ridiculous. But you're getting a lot of large pieces here, and that's where you're getting your higher price from. I mean, you need to count, like, how many pieces would it actually take to build something like this entryway? You're probably talking probably another 20, 30 pieces on top of that. Something like that. So yeah, it got a pass, even though it sounds like a ridiculous price. Is it good? If it was $40 like it was at, I believe, my local Walmart, then yeah, $40 is a good price for sure. I got it for a great price, an excellent price, because I got it on clearance because the box had been damaged, and it was only $22, $23, something like that. A much better price overall, but don't expect that. And it is actually technically it's no longer in production, so you're going to be paying more anyways. So don't expect to find the deal I got. Well, not impossible, but you never, probably not. So that gives this an overall rating of an 8.5p. Overall a decent set. And that's another thing with the price. There's a lot of fun here to have for kids, so they're going to enjoy it. That's part of the price. It's a decent set. It's not amazing, but it's decent. So 8.5 p is the final score. And this, if you have seen my video, that was a $50 set, and that was not good. This is a good 4+ set, or 4 to 7 junior set. You have the T.rex, which is a larger thing, but then you have got a building, and these all look halfway decent. I complain a little bit about appearance with this thing, and it still remains, it needs a little bit more to it, but overall the set looks good. And like this does not compare to that ugly boat. The boat was just horrid. This looks good despite being a 4+ set, and 4+ sets can still look good. Throw a large building in there and throw a couple vehicles and a dinosaur, and you have a expensive, higher price point 4+ set. Other than that, I think the 4+ sets should keep to smaller sets. They look good. They may look a little cutesy, the vehicles and stuff, but they still look decent. And you can even, that's more of the style, which is fine. There's, style like the Police Play School, DC figures and Marvel and stuff like that they have their own younger style. So, which is how I look at the 4+ sets, especially the smaller kind of cutesy looking ones. So that's it for this set. Tell me what you think below this set and 4+ in general, which, yes, this is a 4+ junior set, whatever you want to call it. Would you been interested in this maybe if it was cheaper, or what are your overall thoughts on it, and on the 4+ sets in general? And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, of course. Comment below on what you liked, what you didn't like. Let's open up some discussion here on any of these sets, this set, and Jurassic World sets in general. And help out my channel by leaving comments and stuff like that. Oh, and check out there's links to my Twitter and Facebook, so if you want to follow me on either of those, you can keep up to date on releases, video releases through that, especially since YouTube is kind of iffy. Sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes you don't. I've seen it where I don't start getting views for 3 days after I've posted a video, which means notifications aren't going out to when they should be going out. So if you go, I notify as soon as I put the video up, so you will get notifications faster that way through Twitter and Facebook than relying on YouTube. So that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station, reminding you that creativity is key.